Hi friends, Amy here. Now, I just got a text from one of my friends who's helping her son with second grade homework, and I want to read the text to you. It's about these questions 1 and 2. The text says, okay, I have a ridiculous question. This is my son's second grade work to solve number 1 and 2. Should he be stacking them? Let me say, first of all, that is not a ridiculous question. Okay, the way that you learned math, we did back in the day spend a little bit of time on place value, but we pretty much, when we started getting into more than 2-digit numbers and beyond, we pretty much just went straight to the rule. We now call this the standard algorithm, where we said, okay, stack the numbers. That's exactly probably how you were taught. And then we would say, start on the right and add the numbers down vertically. That's 2, 6 and 1 is 7, 3 and 1 is 4. Okay, so it's 472. The problem is there has been such an issue with students having this understanding of place value and not having that strong foundational understanding of place value. It's going to be something that will plague students throughout all of their future math courses. So what we're doing in these lessons is building this conceptual, strong, foundational understanding of place value. And here's the thing, they are going to teach, we call it now the standard algorithm. They will learn this in a few lessons. You will see it show up in a few lessons where they are actually learning how to use the algorithm. But what we're doing now is just focusing on composing and decomposing 3-digit numbers. Now, by composing, it's just meaning putting more than one number together to get one number. Pretty much the same thing as adding, but that's where composing. We put these three together, they compose to form 245. Decomposing is just taking the number 245, breaking it apart. There are different ways we can break it apart. Here we see we can show it as 100, 14 tens, 10 tens and 4 tens, 14 tens and 5 ones. It makes 245. Or we could put 10 of the tens together. We could decompose it this way. 2 hundreds, 4 tens, 5 ones. They both give 245. So what they're wanting the students to do here, and here's the thing, your students will probably, if you jump straight and say, okay, well, we need to stack them and we need to add right, we need to start on the right and go to the left, that will be confusing because they're focusing right now on place value. So like when you have this, the way you could help them is say, identify the hundreds. Where are your hundreds? Draw a line under it. Well, I have 3 hundreds, I have 100. Let's please put an equal sign here. I wish they'd put that in. But anyway, we'll have 300s and 100. So I've got 400s. Identify the tens. Put a box around the tens. I've got 0 tens. I've got 6 tens. I have 1 10. So how many tens do I have? I have 7 tens. Draw a circle around the ones. I've got 0 ones, 0 ones, and 2 ones. When I put all those together, we have 2 ones. So we have 472. Now, if your students, if it makes complete sense to them, great. They're fine if they can identify that. If they're having a little bit struggle of seeing like the place values and connecting those, there is a phenomenal online tool that is free. I found it a few months ago. Love it, love it, love it. It is called Polypad. And it looks like this, Polypad. Guess it's like by Amplify, but it's totally free. And so Polypad is a great way to model this with base 10 blocks. So what you can do here is, first of all, I'm going to go down here and click on the text box because I really want to model exactly how they're seeing it. So I want to put the 300. And then I'm going to do another text box because I want to show then 160. And then I want to put another one. And I want to show the, let's see, what was that last one? Was 12. Oops, got too much stuff in there. All right, so 12. There we go. And if you really wanted to model, we could even put some little plus signs in between here. I could do plus. Oop, not equal. Gotta hit the shift button there. Plus, and then I could come here, shift, put another text box here, shift plus. All right. So we can manipulate that. You can drag those, move them around, get them all lined up nice and neat if you need to. Okay, so here we go. All right. I always like having things perfect, and I have to just go, it doesn't have to be perfect. So we model 300, come down here to underneath numbers, and then number tiles and cubes, go down to the cube. So I'm using these. The little one is the unit cube. All right, that's the unit cube, ones. The blue one is my tens, 10 rod, the 100 flat, and then I'm just hitting delete. And then this one is the 1,000 cube, but you're not doing that in second grade. So all right, so we can model 300. I can just click it, drag it right here, and then you can hit C on your keyboard. I like using that function, not Alt-C, not Control-C, just C. I like using that function because it lines it right up with the last one. Okay, I'm gonna zoom out, and I am going to come here just because, again, I like modeling. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger now. I just like for them to see and make the connection. So click here, and I'm going to make that larger. And 12. I know, I shouldn't be as concerned about this, but I just think it's really important for the students to make that connection. We call these numbers the abstract and the base 10 blocks the concrete. So I think it's important for them to have those connections from the abstract that I have up across the top to the concrete, the base 10 blocks. Okay, so now we've got 300. Now we model 160. Now I can do that by showing 100 flat and 6 tens. I could do 16 tens if I wanted to, but I'm going to use the 100 flat and the 6 tens. So 100, put it right here, and the 6 tens there. And again, if you hit C on your keypad, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it will put them right there beside it. Now 12, I could do 12 ones or a 10 and 2 ones. Now since we're composing and putting these together, I'm going to do a 10 and then 2 ones. So there's one, and there's another one. All right, so now we can now see we have 400s, we have 7 tens, we have 2 ones. Now you can even do this. We could come in here and select all of these. I can click on copy. Okay, I can move my copy down here, and then I can do a really cool thing where I can hit organize. I'm having a hard time seeing that. Let me see. Organize. I hit another button on my computer. Organize. Now, how cool is that? And now we can say, okay, well, 300 plus 160 plus 12 makes, we can put our text box up here, it makes 472. Let's make that a little bit larger. So I just love that. I just absolutely love this tool. There's the little 2 ones. I know those weren't showing a minute ago. They're behind my head, but there they are. Now, what you can also do if you're a teacher by chance watching this, there is a tool up here. You can click export, and it will make this into a PDF. So you can make lots of great visuals to put around your room. All right, I know the video is getting a little bit long, so let's go ahead and wrap this up and talk about decomposing. So here we could do the same thing. Ask them, how many hundreds do you have? So this is what I would do. I know I'm just talking in a stream of consciousness here. Okay, so I would work this. If they had a little bit of struggle, maybe stop, go work with Polypad some, then come back and have them look at this one after you spent some time working with Polypad. Underline the hundreds. All right, we got 200s, box the tens, 0 tens, 5 tens, 1 10. So we have 6 tens, circle the ones, 0, 0, and 4. And that little equal sign. Now, the next thing, decompose 593 in 2 ways. Great, also a great way to use Polypad. Now, our kind of the given is to do by place value. We have 5 hundreds. We have 9 tens, which is 90. We have 3 ones. So what's another way we could decompose this? Well, let's go back to our lovely Polypad tool. I'm going to hit refresh and say reload, leaves all our beautiful work. So we just showed 593. So again, come down to number tiles and cubes, use the number cubes. We said we could do it as 500s. So 1, and then I'll hit C on the keyboard, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, that makes them go right there beside it. So that's my 500. And then we could do 9 tens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tens. And then we have 3 ones. So we'll get our little unit cube. 1, 2, 3. So again, for the sake of time, I won't do this, but we could click on the text box and we could put 500 plus 90 plus 3 across the top. Now, if we wanted to do this a different way, all right. Now, I like keeping, by the way, if you click on the text box, make sure you go back and click on the arrow, or else you'll be going, why is nothing working? Well, it's because you're still stuck in the text box. So, all right, I'm going to delete that one. I didn't mean that to get there. So what I like to do is just select them and copy them so that then we'll be able to look at the 2 different representations. All right, when you move these, another tip, make sure you grab onto one of the blocks. If you click in the gray area, it all separates. I've learned that the hard way. Okay, so how else could we decompose this? There are so many different ways we could decompose this. One thing is I could say, well, let's take this 100 over here with our tens, and then let's hit the split button. And there we have 10 tens that we just made. All right, so I can, if you want to, I can hit shift and select those if I wanted to like move some of them around just so I could see it a little bit better. Here's another thing though that we can do that's really the best. Pick them all. I'm just clicking and dragging, tell it to organize. Now I could decompose that as 400s. How many tens do I have now? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19 tens, and 3 ones. Okay, so look back at the paper. We said we could decompose it as 400, the 19 tens, which is 190, and then the 3 ones. We could do so many different ways. We could take a 10 away if we wanted to. And again, if you're looking at PolyPad, if your student is struggling with this, please spend some time here. We could say, well, let's pull a 10 over here with our ones. So pull it over there and then hit split. All right, let's select it all. Select everything, make sure I've got it all. Oops, select it all. And let's say organize. So now I see I have 400s, so 400s. Now we have how many tens? Well, we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 tens and 13 ones. So again, if we look back at here, we have 400s, we have 18 tens or 180 and 13 ones. Do you see how this is going to build the understanding for what we used to call borrowing, of how we regroup? So again, you can do lots of different ways. Whew, I know that was a long video to explain just 2 little problems, but just definitely wanted to give some context here of what we're doing, and then also show you some of the cool stuff you can do with PolyPad. All right, hope that helps, my good friend. Let me know if there's anything else.